And as the man in my ear said, you will be live in 3, 2, 1. But that was 3 seconds ago. Oh dear. So very confusing, isn't it? Hello,
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Inworld Review, your one-stop video shop for news about the hypergrid and key virtual worlds and stuff like that. Except we ain't got none this week. Oh,
Hmm?
yeah. Well, silence reigns all round. Well, I'll explain that actually. My name's Mal Burns. If you don't know, Mal one word, Burns the second word. You can find me on Twitter as Mal Burns, squashed together. And also we have a feed for Metaworld News too, twitter.com/Metaworld News, which is where you'll find the stuff vaguely tied to this show as opposed to the main news. And I've just got a few links to bring up this week, mostly about Hypergrid Safari and a few other things. The reason we haven't got a guest is that we actually did have somebody who's taking part in booking our guests, and it didn't kind of work out. But I did inherit a list of guests that were meant to be on this week and that week, and I haven't been able to contact the person whose name I've got, and I friended him on Open Sim World. His scripter is meant to be coming this week, and I haven't got hold of him. And also, I sent some last-minute invites for Buckhausen and Krista Lopez. No, sorry, not Krista, but they're coming up in the week. So anyway, ended up with nothing. But we always did say actually that it wouldn't necessarily be every week that we do the Inworld review. The only reason we're coming now is to sort of explain ourselves, but also because I have got some clips and a little bit of news we can slip in into a very sort of 15-minute program or something. As normal, on the seat behind me, well, he's normally on the seat further away from me, is doing all the filming. It's James Atlloud. Hi, James.
Hello, Mal. Here we are again.
Here we are again.
Good
Isn't that the
times.
song? I think that's the song as well, isn't
It
it?
probably is.
Shall I play High Wire again? Is that no? Never mind.
No, no.
Oh dear. Right, yeah. So, James can helpfully bring you stuff direct from my desktop too while I'm talking, as well as various angles. Angles of me. That's a good name for something, isn't it? Angles
Yeah.
of me. It's like pictures of me, but angles of me. Yeah, must forget that one, as they say, because I undoubtedly will. Right, okay. Well, I'm going to start with Hypergrid Safari because it's sort of a bit thanks to there's a reinvigorating Hypergrid Safari, as it were, that we have been back at all with this program. I'm glad to see we were a great reception for last week's program and the inaugural program the week before with herself. So glad to know people are keen on it. Yeah, so we'll see what happens in the future. Now, one of the highlights in the world of open simulators, so to speak, is the annual conference, OSCC 21, as it was called, because it was in the closing days of last year. Various events happened there. Now, as far as the videos of those, they've been sort of trickling out over a period of time, and I'm posting most of them in the twitter.com/Metaworld News stream. But there are a couple that came out this week which are well worth you looking up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with, I'm not going to show you the whole videos, but I'm going to load them so you know what they are and where they are, so to speak. And yeah, let's see, which of the darn thing, oh, it's that one, isn't it? Yes, allow. Okay. Oh, this is,
Hello there. I hope everyone is doing well. I am Ramesh Ramlon, lead designer for the Resmela development team. Today, I am going to talk about our new offering, the Composer app. We know that content creation friction is the #1 challenge for users who may be discouraged.
Okay, this is 15 minutes, and it's about something called Resa. Now, Resmela this isn't actually Avacon's feed. This is Resmela. So I'm obviously getting confused, especially the fact that he's got his interface hanging out, as my expression goes. um, I guess he showed. Do you know, James, if he showed this
Yeah, he
behind him?
yeah he played this recording at OSCC as his presentation.
Right. So this version is kind of an offline version with his interface hanging out, whereas
Correct. Correct. Yep.
the version that Avacon, I think, is sort of shows it as a screen within a screen kind of thing.
Hmm.
Okay. Right. Well, it's worth it anyway. I would mention this if Res Mellor is the account you want for this at YouTube. Now, this strictly isn't like an entertainment video. This really is a talk that talks about his method of building. It's quite complex because um, it it's it allows you to basically create large environments and then res them as you need them at quite a level of speed. At least I think that's what it does. I can't remember this at all, but I have had one with him before. If you follow the link to YouTube, of course, and Rosemary, you'll find there's a user guide, composer app, and Open Simulator's own page advertised here. So let's scroll through it to see if there's a bit where I can give you a better idea of what he might be.
Perspective. A perspective that needs to be evaluated for its expressivity or utility. In a nutshell, we are searching for the most expressive language to create story.
Oh, that wasn't helpful, was it? Okay. So yeah, let's move on from that one for now. Right now, the next one was actually published by Avacon, and this is I mentioned this on the news earlier. This is she used to be my co-host on Metaverse News, in fact, and Dan was on the Inworld Review in its original incarnation. This is a 20-minute talk by Maria Koroloff. The metaverse is coming, and Open Simulator can show the way. Appropriate. There was an article a bit before this conference which had exactly that title, and you can see why, because I forget who it was who wrote the original article, but they actually sort of, they were saying what I've been saying is that OpenSim here and the hypergrid, which is part of OpenSim, are very much templates, for the M word as they're talking about it now. I mean, it's not, it's as rich, it's powerful. You can do a lot of things here. You can even do more things here than a closed world like Second Life, but some people say, oh, it's not that realistic. Oh, the avatars are a bit stunted and all that. I mean, there are ways around all that. But, nobody's pretending this is the most up-to-date thing around. It's not. But the way it works in terms of connectivity between grids and things like that is a very good template, for the way a virtual world should work, including the fact, you can build and create and socialize and do everything all from one interface. You don't have to go away to some 3D modeling program necessarily to make some elaborate building here. You can do it within the in-world tools. You can also go away and do it in Unity and then import it, but it's it's a good template. So Maria here basically obviously
Version, you all know it because you're here. For me, that was the big eye-opening moment of I'm in a different place. I'm in a different place, and this place is real, and this place is valuable, and this is going to be something amazing. And what I thought at the time was that was going to happen immediately. And I thought that the metaverse was going to
okay. It's hard to pick out. It's hard to
If
pick
you
out.
guys have not seen,
It's hard to pick out. Oh God, why does it keep doing this? I'm not even at the end of the timeline. Weird. Okay. If you want this, you need to go to in YouTube, of course. You need to go. Avacon Space Inc. is the account you need, and you can see all their recordings from the OpenSync Community Conference there. You can also usefully probably subscribe to them should you want to. Where are we? I'll just quickly click up here. That's their joining up page, as it were. And yeah, you can see at the top there. Oh, I'm confused. That says 2020 presentation. Oh, I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a playlist, right?
Yeah, 2020, not 21.
Oh,
Right, play
yep,
2020. There's no actual.
yeah, it's something that's
play.
featured on. Click the playlists button. Is there
Right.
at the top?
Creative playlists. Here we are, 2021 workshops presentations. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you can get them all from here anyway. There are two on this channel here, which I was hosting, so this copy's basically up here as well. But yeah, whole load of them there, really. Right, okay. I shall move on from that, and no, that's basically our own programs for last week are there. Right, so I'm going to move to okay, this is the thing here. Oh God. Right, okay. Books in the Bayou. This is Thursday Ember's blog. Post Safari last Wednesday. She says there's a lot of grim news in the world today, but we ought to be aware of it. But it's good for our mental health to take a short break from worrying about it. So 2 hours of culture, friendship, and beauty. What we had. We went to Wildwood Bayou, and you'll know the folks there because we had them as our guests here last week. They're an important new cultural hub on Craft Grid, and they went there as a first destination. And secondly, they went to Museo del Metaverse, which is a beacon of art in virtual worlds for 15 years. And yeah, they were looking at the new ebook library on the Ukwa 2 sim. I just realised both of them were on Craft Grid. I mean, they're separate simulations, but they were both on Craft Grid, so we didn't need Cybergrid so far, did we? Okay, Thursday's roundup here, of course, gives it all, including some of the text from the text chat there. Right, I'm going to now move. I said this is going to be a short show, but what I do have here, and maybe James can chat with me while we look at them, is a selection of short clips I literally took while we were there. And if I don't know whether the latest is the top or the first is the top, we'll have to see, won't we? 20, 32, 20. Yeah, that's how we go. Right, here we are. This is the Metaverse library stop, or rather the ebooks stop. It's all quiet. This basically is just trying to get a picture of everybody who was actually there. Yeah, a little bit of sound in French, typically. Here we go. This is some other parts of the same build. It's not all as geometrically precise as it looks. There's some very different things about there. What do you think of this? You of course were here, James.
Yeah. Oh, it's very expansive. It's really quite a build, and unfortunately, I was just there for a short time. I was at my employer's, and my computer there is not very powerful, and so it unfortunately crashed. But boy, the space is amazing. It's quite large, but at
Yeah,
the same time spacious to move around.
yes, no bumping into people and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of this is me panning about. I think you can get. I think there's some shots here where you get an idea of how large it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we've got the name tags on there showing us who's who. That goes. Yeah, there are all sorts of posters and works of art around the place. These are actually several clips out of order. They're all playing. Thanks to this video player I'm on, they're all playing in a loop. So I'm just watching them go by here. The ebook library here was actually the thing they were really promoting.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually new, and yeah, basically there's a display. I don't know whether we really saw it. There are all these books in a row. Like art exhibitions, but with open books on the stand, and when you click on them, you get the link to an ebook. There we are. You can sort of see them there. There we are to the right. I'm pointing. I don't know why. You can't tell. Yeah. So yeah, Art Space and Carp, they have been around. Now this is an event for Stop the War. This was. I'm trying to think. Was this the first stop, or was it? Are we on the same? No, we're in the same region. I think I'm getting very confused here. I was just panning around with the camera. We were all standing around elsewhere, and I just saw this in the distance. It's an exhibit. It's not an event. Anybody's actually dancing or anything. It's on the theme of Stop the War. And obviously at the moment dominated by the blue and yellow of the Ukraine. As we saw earlier, there's stuff happening. Ukraine benefits, or protests, I suppose, happening all over the place. Some of them feel like sub parties, but the meaning of them is not to have a party. Parts of this build had sound, and you hear it when the camera moves in, and then they're gone again. Oh, this is strange. This looks like another avatar, but as we pan away, they are absolutely giants. They're playing chess. There's things that look like avatars. They're around on the chessboard. This is one of the. This is 1 Billion Rising. Protest somewhere, I think. It's not contemporary. It's part of the actual exhibit, along with all these corsets, which are suggestive of denying women's rights, of course. And if you zoom in on the back of all the corsets, there's a different quotation from somebody or a different fact. And yeah, it goes a bit quiet again here. And we zoom around a bit more. This is all Cherry Mango's work. Very famous creator in OpenSim. A certain style as well. You can never really she does a lot of different types of things, but you can never kind of mistake her work for anybody else's, if you see what I mean. 2D, 3D, flat, sculpted. It's just got a thumbprint all over it, really. Mm-hmm. Flags of the world here, of course. And not too fussy about getting our interface and name tags here. I'm told that people like seeing their names over there. They will watch the show to see themselves on screen. Don't know where that's the case at the moment, but here. This is great. Yeah. I see Thurston's in the audience here now. I'm just going to pause that because you can't hear myself think over that, although it's great music. This was the second stop, or was it the first? I can't remember now. No, second. This is the recreation of Mardi Gras at the Wildwood region. I mentioned earlier we had them on this show last week, so it was no surprise. But basically, they kept all their Mardi Gras decorations up, so Safari could enjoy it. And sadly, it was a bit laggy, but I did get, you can tell here I got some sort of shots in here, and also, of course, music playing full volume throughout the this particular one. So let me continue at full volume and blast myself out. Did you make this bit, James, or was it the other bit you crashed?
No, I didn't. I couldn't make it, and then I had meetings show up.
Never mind. It was great fun. A little bit, feel a bit of the spirit of it here, I think. Hey, I'm at the drums.
Nice.
Bam, bam, boom, boom, bom, 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 ba da 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 da, boom, bam, 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 boom, bam. Near the end, I think it looked like 5 of the women from Safari, including Thursday at some point, and probably Nara, ended up dancing on the top of that piano in a kind of chorus line kind of thing, which is very funny. But I don't think I actually managed to grab film of that. It was not easy job filming on this particular venue. Oops. Like this one. Dr. John. Egg to New Orleans. Well, there we go. There we go. A bunch of stuff. The only sad thing was it took me a while. I had to relog to get out of the lag of the previous place to log in again to the music venue that was the second part of the Mardi Gras thing. And so I missed a bit there. But whether she did or whether she didn't, for last week's show, she promised she was going to play me Tony Joe White. I don't know whether she ever did, but it wasn't while I was there.
Oh,
but there again, Dr. John, second favourite, definitely the Spirit of New Orleans just oozes out of that, the late gentleman. So wonderful stuff indeed. So I guess you got the sort of first bit of it. I keep clicking.
You keep standing up.
Well, believe it or not, I'm actually clicking on the thing in my interface here that is supposed to show me open nearby chat. Because Thursday's here saying, "Yay, hello," and that's it. Is she in the audience? Is she still in the audience? Yes, she is. But she's not on the call, so we can't say hello. So once again, I said this is going to be a very short show. Really, that little resume was just about all we kind of had here. Obviously, things coming up. The Open Sim Festival is in July at some point. They've got a Discord server, and you can obviously find lots of this stuff at opensimworld.com. And indeed, that is where I actually finally dug down the guest that I still haven't found, if you see what I mean. But at least I've managed to friend him at OpenSimWorld. People do tend to be scattered all over the place, and I very much rely on Discord servers to keep everybody in one app, if not on one server, if you see what I mean. So hopefully we will be back next week with some exciting guests. Now, coming up in Safari this week, I don't really need First Online to tell you that. So, two people I was going in an emergency to try and get here in advance this week to talk about what's coming. It's probably better I do it afterwards. One is Ferd Berghausen, who's responsible for Outworlds and various things. Basically, in OpenSim, although you can find a commercial one that you can rent some space on to build a house or whatever, and some are more commercial and others more like cost. Or you can do stuff where more or less it's free, like OS Grid or whatever. Or you can opt for the thing that Outworlds. Oh yes, first it's just reminded me of something. But anyway, or you can do what Outworld's do, and that is encourage you to actually host your region on your own computer. And while the advantage of this is that firstly your avatar is on your own hard disk, you're not storing it with some provider in the cloud who might disappear. And likewise your assets, your inventory. So when you want to go hypergridding, for example, you just jump out of your own computer to the destination you're going to, collect things in your inventory, make friends by friending them, and then when it's all over, teleport home, and home is back in your computer. So it's the ideal place to save all your assets and all your valuable things, because if everything else happens, they're on your local computer. Even if the internet goes down, everything's on your local computer. And in fact, in the worst of circumstances, there are ways, if you're never online again, you can still log into your own world via your local IP address. So you can still enjoy your own private fantasy land, as it were. And I really like that method because, you sort of jump out, go around the world at will. And at the end of the day, you return home. It's like, it's like living in London, as I do, and then getting on an aeroplane to every place on the planet, except Russia, actually. And then coming back and being at home and bringing my luggage with me, so to speak, everything I've bought or stolen while I was away. I don't do that, by the way, but that's the analogy I'm giving you. Okay. I can actually do this on here because it's not getting in the way of the other screen shares. I'm loading this privately rather than on my broadcast machine. Oh God, guess where I'm going? I'm going to Facebook. I didn't realise that. Okay, Thurs has just pointed out to me that there's been some chat. She's supposed to send me to Facebook. Unfortunately, I'd rather not be here, of course. But there's some conversation with Cherry Manga, and actually, this isn't where I picked it up myself. Cherry's French, and everything here is in French. Whereas the thing I had. Okay, here we are. Franco Grid website and grid are down due to online server breakdown. This is actually dated 20th of February, but I gather there's something going on there. Unfortunately, this Facebook group is all in French, understandably. Following incident, we regret to inform you that we're unable to restart certain servers, neither in rescue nor in normal mode. That's from their hosting provider, I suppose. It unfortunately means the data on these servers cannot be recovered. Teams are already working on refunds for the month of February for server rental, which will no longer be able to be fulfilled. Refund etc. Please note that any Dedi backup service linked to this service will be stopped at the same time. The alternative is to upgrade your server, meaning new server will be deployed on your account subject to availability. This is information being given to the Franco Grid people, not from Franco Grid to you, if you see what I mean.
I think Thurza's asking to join the call.
Oh, lovely. I will do that then. Right. Let's just go back to neutral ground here. Okay, doing a quick switch of desktops here. This is, if you can see this, it's meant to be private, folks. Hopefully, James has put the camera
I'm
back
not
on.
sharing it. I'm not sharing it.
Right. Okay. So this is wonderful. I'm going to add Thursday in, and while I'm adding you in Thursday, you may care to jump off your audience seat and head to the stage, so to speak. Except I can't find where do I turn on camera. Oh, add friends. There we are. Get there in the end. Get there in the end, he says. Right. So good to have somebody a bit more authoritative talking about this.
There we are.
Hello. This is, yes, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I had this conversation noted somewhere, and I don't know.
Yeah, it was also on Sim World. Also had.
That's where I would have had it then.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that Cherry basically took it on herself to give the Cherry. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, somebody else.
So.
Hello. I think I'm hearing somebody else too.
I'm hearing somebody else. I can hear you, Mal.
How about now?
I hear you now.
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay, good.
I thought I heard other people with you or something. So.
I thought I could hear an echo. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I just wanted to say that Cherry took it on herself to make the official announcement. Obviously, Franco Grid has had problems with maintenance for quite a long time now. And this is actually, in a way, it's kind of good news, to be honest with you, because the grid has been in limbo for for several years in a way, and it has been down since the beginning of this year, and so this is actually a great news in a way, because it means that people are going to be encouraged to do something about the grid, to rebuild it, to go to a different host, and most of our stuff is going to be possible to recuperate, because everything before 2020 is safe. So it's the things that have been made in the last year, basically year and a half, not even, and all those things. Most people haven't been building much on Franco Grid during those months anyway, because the grid wasn't very reliable. So it's a very minimal amount of assets that are actually going to be lost. And now they're thinking, well, let's have another go. Let's try setting up Franco Grid with different hosts. That's obviously, nothing has been decided, nothing's been started yet, but basically it's a positive thing, because you sort of ending this long sort of downward spiral, and it's a chance to push off and start again and head for the stars.
I remember when we started this thing up again, you've been saying, that sort of for the Safari, the main place is now OS Grid. You've abandoned Franco Grid for that.
Well, not really abandoned it. The problem was nobody could get there. From many sims, you couldn't even get there, because the sim was fine, and I had all my assets and everything was fine. It was actually better in terms of assets than OS Grid, where many times you can't find stuff that's in your inventory. So that was not really the big problem. It was just more an accessible story. But we kind of knew that things were not going to end well with the current situation over on Franco Grid. So
I hear servers down, and I immediately immediately
Well,
have a
you know,
terrible reaction. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's out of your control when it's exactly what Mal was saying before about self-hosting.
Hmm.
If your little world is on your computer, then, you're in control of the situation. But if you're hosted on some
Yeah.
servers that maybe not even in the country where you live, and certainly not accessible to you, then it's a
Right.
problem.
Right.
I may say wonder if maybe they should look to Third or something to bring it back online. As I mean, it would obviously there'd have to be somebody in the team at Franco Grid who's got a spare computer to run it on and enough RAM and stuff. But it only needs to be one.
I just think they're just going to have to evaluate everything. Who is going to be in control of the grid, the formation of the sort of the central committee of people who are deciding things. Everything will have to start again. But the good thing is that it's no longer a situation in limbo. If they do decide to start again, they're starting with a clean slate. So that's positive.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice. Well, that's the best way to restart, actually, rather than try and repair something that was becoming seriously wrong. Yeah, so that's good. I've kind of been aware of that, I suppose, mostly because you'd mentioned it, but for some time. But when I actually it was OpenSim, I saw the conversation and thought, this is pretty definite now, isn't it?
It's interesting you were saying before about how we're all so fragmented in communications, and that is really.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably a real world problem too, because some people like Twitter and some people like, I don't know, Truth, whatever it is, that other Twitter thing. So everybody has their own little preferences. So it's weird when we think we're all connected, and then we discover that we're really not, because it's very hard to find the other person.
I think that it's difficult. I think this thing of our psychological believing we're all connected, which we are. 6 degrees of separation is long gone. We've got 1 degree now, but that doesn't mean you can find people easily. It just means that in the mesh, the web of things, we are kind of all connected. Now, if we go back to Second Life or OpenSim here with the hypergrid, we can actually say, well, we are all connected because we can have friends on all across the grids and they're all on our friends list. Of course, we all know that they don't show up half the time, even if they're online, because of the glitches in the way the groups work. So we're not quite there yet. But in principle, you could say that when it comes to the virtual world platform, we're all connected.
Yeah, well, we certainly do much better now than we used to be. It used to be much harder to find people. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
I mean, personally, I'm just so grateful for Discord because it imagines you could, even if you can't persuade people to come on your hypergrid channel, they've probably got their own channel on some other, OpenSim grid channel or something, and you can slowly friend them and build up a list, and that I think works remarkably, far more than any of our so-called communicators. I mean, I know a few people on Messenger. I know a lot of people on Skype, but nobody logs in there anymore. Actually, there's a few surprising ones online at the moment, but yeah, and I've got a Trillion and all those other ones. They're just they're all lying in my tray, and sort of every half hour, in the space of an hour, each one of them will probably have popped up a notice saying somebody coming online, but they won't be in the same place, So I can't say. Right now, I've got let's see, I've got Frog Princess online. She's online in Skype, although actually she's in Second Life. But I can't talk to her there, and also in the other window here, say, be talking to somebody in Facebook or somebody in OpenSim. It's just, I just want to connect them all together so that I can, audio-wise at least, I can, put these things together. But even now, for example, it's actually fashionable now to be on Discord, which is. I don't like the idea of being fashionable, but I do like the fact it's a saving grace that people are suddenly starting to appear here.
Yeah, that's very good.
I'm even reading tutorials on how to use Discord for people who've obviously been in it a week. You know,
That happens.
classic. But you know, sort of, if it's and also, of course, a lot of people don't realise that Discord does actually plug into OpenSim and Second Life, and all games actually. You can, if you're in Firestorm, you've actually got a Discord button, right?
Oh, I
That
didn't
actually,
know that. I have to
yeah,
try that.
where you just log in, you press the button, log in with your Discord account, and it reports what you're doing in the game, as they call it, to Discord. So,
Oh, I don't know if I want to report what I'm doing. I might be
well,
doing
yeah,
something inappropriate.
oh well, yeah, we all might. Well, you can do it manually at Discord. You can set it normally. Mine normally says playing Firestorm,
I'm pretty
or,
sure that I don't
or
have the skills to do that.
yeah,
Oh, can I
but,
just
but
promote one thing before I know you wanted to keep the show short, but
oh
you know we're going to
I'm keeping it short because I didn't have a guest, but now I've got you. We'll go on for hours. Yeah,
now
fine.
we're going to Fred's World,
Yeah,
as you know, on Wednesday, and
yeah.
he gave me this link. I'm going to put it in local chat so you can see it.
Oh, Vimeo, yeah. Oh, this is the movie, isn't it? The old
And it's not the actual movie itself. It's a documentary about the making of the movie. Because
Silent Running.
you can find the movie on probably Netflix and places like that. But
Yeah.
this is a documentary about what the movie means and the guy who made it, who is really a great visionary, and it's a really interesting concept, the film itself. But it's very
Is
interesting to see also.
this is Douglas? Some didn't he pass away very
Yes,
recently?
yes.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yes. So he's a very interesting. He was a very interesting man, and Fred really wanted us, if we could, to watch that, because it kind of explains the build. He was telling me today it took him 3 years to make this the build we're going to see on
Oh,
Wednesday, and so it's very detailed. It's full of really lovely stuff, and of course it's full of life as well because he's made the little robots for the movie, and they walk about and they say things, and there's all kinds of collision scripts he's putting in that will make text come up, and then there's a bunch of real life photographs that talk about the actors who were in the movie and the way it was made and everything, so it's
wonderful.
incredibly detailed. There's no way we're going to be we
Obviously, a
cannot
movie
see
you
everything
really
on it.
like. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And it's got a great message. And obviously the
I'm
safari,
sure I've seen the movie in my
oh,
lifetime, as
probably
it were.
back
But
in the day.
sometime in the last week, I looked it up, and I haven't got a DVD or Blu-ray of it. I can't find it anywhere online. And this is what, 60s, wasn't it, or something? It's
I
quite a
think it
long.
was made in
Robots. Yeah.
72. I'm not sure, but I think it was 72.
So you know, a lot of movies like that are available for free all over the place now. But I haven't yet managed to find it. Certainly not
Well, if you
Netflix.
do, let us know because I would love to see the whole movie. I've seen bits of
Yeah.
it on different
Well, if I
video
can find it,
channels, but not the whole thing.
if I can find it, I would download it. So got an offline copy.
Absolutely.
But
But in
yeah,
the meantime, this documentary sort of tells you the tale anyway, and we get to go around
yeah.
it. And for sure, obviously, the safari, we're only going to be there about an hour,
Yeah.
and so we just get a glimpse, really, of everything that's
I
there
mean,
because
it's like
it's
it's like all
huge.
our, it's like all our safaris, isn't it? It's a sort of teaser. So if you've got something really
It
good,
is, yeah.
you can just bookmark it and come back at your leisure. You know, this
Of
actually sounds
course,
like
yeah.
something you need to take a week off work to, you know, have a
Yeah,
five
you
minute
can't see
tour.
everything.
Yeah.
And then it's nice to be in a group, but that also has its downside, obviously, because we make a lot of lag and there's a lot of confusion happening with people
Sure.
sending
Yeah.
you messages and stuff like that is happening. People
Have,
go,
you-
hey, send me a
have
teleport. I'm lost.
have you warned Ferd that he needs to speak French?
I have not mentioned that to him, no.
Is he doing it in voice or?
I don't think so. I hope not.
Ah. Now I was
Because
also going
most
to
of us
ask you.
won't be able to hear
Possibly,
him.
well, I was also going to ask you after that. We're going to visit Krista Lopez.
We're going to Krista.
Oh,
Well, you can't make Krista talk in chat, so she's going to speak in voice probably. Please do not, everybody,
No,
come
no,
up with some
no.
geeky question and nobody can understand.
No, I was thinking of Krista because I was assuming she will be in voice.
I imagine she probably will, but I'm going to be writing what I ask because that's just how I
Yeah,
do it.
Hmm.
yeah. I will
'Cause it
actually
kind of
ask.
leaves everybody out. It's not fair if you leave people out. I don't
Yeah,
think that really
I
helps.
know. Well,
You
I
only
would say,
realize that when you hear everybody talking in French and you go, "Oh, that's
well,
what it must feel like for them when I speak in
Right,
English."
right.
Hold
well,
on.
no, I agree with that, but just because they can't understand, you know, I can take steps not to talk if it's going to make me
Well, if you
not sound rude. But then they're obliged to do the same thing. If they want me to shut up, they should shut up too.
I'm not even going to get into that.
Not even get into it.
I'm
Not
not.
even remotely. I
I
do
just,
though think that there is a third problem in the equation. Apart from French and English, we've also got the issue of people asking Krista something incredibly technical that
yeah.
I'm not going to understand that either. So,
Mhm.
but if you have a good question
Krista,
for her, feel free to
yeah.
ask it.
Krista's okay on that front, considering the technical things
She
she
makes
deals.
things simple. That's true.
She just speaks like anybody, normal person. You know, some
Yeah,
people
she
have
does.
that.
She's
You know, they
great.
really have that knack. Adam Frisbee's another one. He's sort of so technically minded, but you wouldn't know it from the way he talks. He just talks in
Mm.
average, fully understandable.
Well, we'll
You
have
know?
to try and get him. We'll have to try and get him on the safari then. So maybe
Oh
in
yeah,
another season.
and yeah, I was planning to get him on in World Review here too. Actually, when we're what I might do, since it's the last gig of the season, is I might try and get Ferg and Krista on this show next week, a sort of epilogue. You know,
Yeah,
because we'll
why
probably,
not? Good idea.
in the case of Fur's build, I'll probably have picked up quite a lot of clips to show like we were doing just now. You know, so to talk over and stuff. So I'll see. I actually sent Ferd a message on Skype, which is normally his preferred place for contacting me, but I had 3 days ago and I still haven't heard from him. So
He may
Friday.
just be busy.
Yeah, exactly. Also, we'll see. Yeah, so I can always ask him on Wednesday, can't I? Ask him, I'll put him on the spot, as it were. Yeah, so it's now this is the last one. How long's our break till the next season starts up? Because I know you've got 3 seasons ahead booked up now, haven't you?
Yes, we booked it. We started booking September to November season. That's going to be season 3. So upcoming on the safari after this Wednesday, which is the final safari. We'll probably be available hanging out on the Safari Sim on Wednesdays anyway. So if people wanted to come by and just chat and catch up and explain who the heck they are, and we can explain who the heck we are, where there's never time to do that during the safari.
It's
And
not called the
I'm going to be.
clubhouse. It's not called the clubhouse for nothing, is it?
That's right. It's not really even a house if you think about it.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be starting to put up the self-guided trails. That will begin as soon as the safari season ends. There is going to be a special safari on, I think it's April the 15th. I can't swear to it. But anyway, around Easter, because there's a special build by Ange and Nani. You know, they always do those wonderful treasure hunt builds every 3 times a year or something. And
Right.
their Easter one will be coming out at that time. And we're going to have a special safari just for that. And then
Right.
the new season, the second season begins, I believe it is May the 15th, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, mid-May.
Yeah.
And that
So
runs right
basically,
through to July 6th.
Right, so about six week gap, isn't it? All of April.
Yeah,
and-
something like that.
Yeah,
About 6
yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, no, that's funny. We're all thrown. We're also I don't know we're around it. All thrown by the clock changes this
Yes,
week.
that is the
I
issue,
always think,
unfortunately.
I always think Europe's ahead of America, but this year it seems to have been the other way around. And
Well,
I
at
didn't.
least this time I haven't completely screwed up, because in the past I've got it wrong, thinking that the clocks went backwards instead of forwards, and
Yeah, I
arranged
know the
appointments
feeling.
with people who
Well,
showed up 2 hours early, and
I
but
didn't
I think this
even
time
know.
I've got it right. I'm not going to swear on it, but I think I have.
Yeah, I didn't even know earlier when we did the news, and James was, it was an hour earlier than normal, so James was sort of sitting there waiting for me, and of course I was an hour behind. So, but yeah, I always equate that with Easter, so I'm trying to work out when. Easter's normally the end of March, beginning of April, isn't it? Unless we've gone up.
It's mid-April. I think it's April the 20th this year, something
Ah,
like
so
that.
so presumably
It's a very
timetable
late one, something
very
like
late.
that.
Yeah. Well, I'll follow that. I'll keep an eye on the calendars and stuff anyway. So yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
so that's to look forward to, the special safari in April, and of course that will be advertised all over social media. And
All
then
over.
the season begins again mid-May, the actual proper season. The first destinations are, one is the Cranovale build on their
Oh,
grid, which is a springtime setting, and it'll be the first time we've ever been there to see their spring build. We've been many
ah,
times to see their winter builds, but we've never seen the spring one. And after that, there's a very special sailing event on Next Life Grid, which is Achim Twisterling's grid, German grid. And we'll all have boats for that. So they're preparing something fun for us over there. So that's mid-May when that begins.
all right. I just believed I can't. I've got a desktop clipboard here which keeps all my notes, including the list of what was supposed to be coming up when we actually had a sort of coming up for this show. Now it seems to have gotten wiped. It's only notes in the whole
Yes.
notepad that's gotten wiped. All the others are intact. I think there's something fishy going on with the interwebs these days. Right. Yeah, but that's looking ahead a bit. Well, we'll be working on that for next week's show. Hopefully, two or more people. And yeah, so mid-April for the special, and then back at the beginning of May. That sounds pretty good. And also, of course, we will give a bit of airtime to the ones you're talking about, the scripted ones.
Yeah, that would be great if you can do that. I think there's 4 or 5 art ones, and then there's a literary one, a science one, a history one. So there's all kinds of different trails that people can take anytime they like, and just explore really, and never stop exploring because there's so many things to see. It's going to be fun.
Great. Absolutely great. Well, I'm beginning to feel knackered. Oh, as they say in the business, despite the coffee. Oh, great to see you again. I think we've covered just about everything. Obviously, we looked at a few clips there of last week's build. Really, it was a real shame that we ended up with lag in it wasn't so bad in the Blues Club actually, but on the Mardi Gras sort of street. You know, my camera was
Yeah,
moving
but they were. Didn't you
around,
think they did magnificently though? They just
oh yeah,
handled everything. I was like, how can these people were just brilliant? They just handled it, and Harmony, she kept crashing, but the others they just helped out and just
I
said
think
everything that needed to be said. It just went so smoothly in a way. I was just totally blown away by their
yeah,
organization. Just such a nice bunch of people. It was lovely.
the tribe, wasn't it? She said,
The
yeah. I remember
tribe.
on last week's show, she was talking about once in the tribe, always in the tribe. Me, anybody who visits. But I did get the impression that you know, it's like doing this show or something like that, or the news maybe is a better example. If you do it again and again, and it's your one thing, you really just at some point just it's intuitive. And
I
what
guess
she was
so.
saying on the show last week, they've got the role play side and they've got the music side, and they're devoted to those two, and they interlock, but they don't do anything else. That is the
Yeah,
sole
that
purpose.
is the secret. Yeah, keep it
Yeah,
simple.
and
And
if something goes wrong, it's probably something that was been going wrong before, and you know how to handle it. Rather than something that takes you by surprise. So I think that's I got that really positive sort of oh, we got this down to the fine art feeling from them. Talking last week. Anyway, James, have we got anything else that I've forgotten while I'm falling asleep?
No, I don't think so. I think we've covered it well, more than we expected. So that's awesome.
Yes, yes, indeed. We thought we were just going to sort of come on to reassure people that we
Yeah,
haven't forgotten
yeah.
to do this show. Yeah, but changing the hours, throws. Hopefully, Britain changes next week. I don't know because I mean, I think well, one end of the year there's a 3-week difference, and the
Yeah.
other end of the year it's a 1-week difference. And
I think
always
this is the end of the. This is the time when it's only 1 week. It's in the fall that there's a difference.
Yeah.
It's more weeks
But,
apart.
you know, after the week is up, or even 2 weeks are up, you know, I'm finally getting used to it, and then everybody changes again.
But they do say they were going to quit doing it in Europe, but then the pandemic came, and then there were other
Right.
considerations. So.
I think, yeah, I've got a feeling. Well, it's up to Europe. Really. The trouble is now it's not going to make any difference. Britain's not in Europe. Britain will probably give it up, and Britain will keep it on because, well, we're Britain.
That's right.
just
right.
to
They'll bring back the threepenny bit just to spite everybody.
Oh, that was cute. I like the threepenny bit.
I'm not knocking the threepenny bit.
They were quite chunky too. They were made of copper,
They
like
were.
the old pennies. And you remember the Hate Me?
I do. I can even remember a farthing.
Yeah, I thought that was a quarter penny, wasn't it? The farthing.
Yep.
Yeah. Gosh.
With a wren on it. And we just look really old now, Mal. We better close the show on that note.
I have forgotten all about the farthing.
The farthing with a little wren on it, yeah.
The penny farthing. That was something else.
A penny
wasn't it?
farthing, yeah,
Was that
absolutely.
right? Yeah, penny
I
farthing.
think we've just lost the plot completely now. Sorry about that, James.
Yeah. Sorry,
No
folks.
problem.
Sorry, folks, listening at home.
It's all good. All good.
We've disappeared into some kind of simulation, and we're not sure what it is yet. Oh dear. Okay. I'll get serious here and wind up the show. We will hopefully be back next week. With a bit of luck, we'll have Further or Crystal, or maybe even the person who was meant to be on today. Whatever happens, we will be here. Have a good week, everybody. Don't forget to turn up to Safari. You need to go. You obviously need to be logged into OpenSim on a grid that's hypergrid enabled. And the best way to get there is to open your map and then type in osgrid.org:880:HG space Safari, and that will take you to the launching place. You will land at the launch, if you see what I mean, at approximately. Now that's the point. What time is it? I mean,
It's a normal time for Europeans, which is 9 p.m. in Rome, 8 p.m. in England.
Right.
And
Okay.
whatever time it is in where you live when it's 8 p.m. in London. You have to go and look at your own clock.
No, it's fine. For me, it will be the same time. For James,
I believe it's 1 p.m. Pacific, but I'm not going to swear it.
no, I don't think so. It's an hour earlier for James, isn't it?
I just look at my clock. I'll show up when I'm supposed to be there.
Thank you, James.
Well, you will get there an hour. Right. Or maybe it was later because you don't want to get there an hour earlier. That's it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
My
That's how
California
that
clock.
works.
All right.
it's an hour later. So
Beach Boys. My Beach Boys clock. California time.
I should have got a sound. I should have got a sound effect for the theremin, shouldn't I? After what we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Good Lord.
Oh, can't have everything, I suppose. Okay, folks. Well, as you can see, we're going to end up in giggling fits here. I don't know why. There's nothing much to giggle
Late
about
at
in the
night.
world these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's of course, over here in Europe, it's getting on a bit. It's not as bad as normal because we were a bit ahead of schedule. Right. Okay. So we will see you on Wednesday. Don't you dare not come, folks.
Yes, please come.
Please come. Yeah.
I'll leave work and go home so I can be there.
Yeah, fake an illness or something.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, yeah. It must be a good one. I mean, Krista's always interested because of what we're on about here. But Third is just so good anyway. If it sounds.
Oh gosh, you're going to love this build, really. I can't speak highly enough of it. It's absolutely the best thing he's made so far, I would say. And he's made some wonderful builds, but this is
Yeah.
just exceptional.
And you've been
Wonderful.
there already, I take it.
I got to go today actually because there were one or two issues with the region was offline because of a power issue. So today was the first time I really got to see it properly. Well, a bit of it properly, and I was just amazed. It's just lovely.
Okay, if he's dealing with offline stuff, that might be why he didn't get back to me. So. Right, okay, well, we'll see. Thanks for being here Thursday and popping in unscheduled.
Thanks for having me.
You're always welcome. If you turn up in the audience and we miss you, ping us.
Okay.
You should be a co-host, but then again, we can't have everything, can we? Yeah, so we'll see you at Safari, and we'll be back with another Inworld review this time next week. And if you want to watch our replays of the first two of this new look thing, go to my channel, Mal Burns, at YouTube, and you'll find they're all sort of kept there. We might actually create a special channel for the Inworld review at some point, but we'll wait and see on that. So, everybody, thank you for watching, and thank you to James as well, and Thursday, and cue the noisy exit business.
Oh, all right. That sounds good.